Floods, earthquakes, tornadoes, wildfires. Everything can change in an instant when emergencies strike. I'm Ness Murby. I'm a Paralympian, I'm blind, I'm a disaster survivor, and I'm your host for this video series that is your guide to prepare and plan for natural emergencies in Canada. This is your AMI Emergency Series. Your personal needs. As someone who is blind, partially sighted, or who has a disability, the key to managing emergency situations is being organized in advance. Consider the following. Communication needs. In an emergency, you may have to explain to others how they can safely guide you, or move your equipment. Preparing this information in advance is an important first step. Practicing how you can communicate this knowledge effectively so it's easily understood is essential in an emergency. Be sure to prepare and organize communication essentials you may need, such as hearing aids and spare batteries, in your emergency kits. When you have your supplies gathered, identify each item with braille and large print labels. Medical needs. Another critical piece of emergency planning is to have everything ready to take care of medical needs you or those with you may be managing. For those with specific health conditions, the emergency kit should include hard copies of medication package information, leaflets and instructions for equipment along with extra medications, supplies to administer them, and food items for dietary restrictions. Plan for a backup power source if you have critical devices that need power, and consider wearing a medic alert bracelet. Functional needs. When thinking of functional needs, prepare the items you require for your service animal and the tools you require to function independently. If you use a service animal, create a plan for them for during and after an emergency. Like you, they'll need food and water, along with items like waste bags, bowls, protective clothing, and a spare leash. For more information on this, check out the videos on emergency kits in this series. Functional accessories you need might include an extra cane, extra batteries, a manual wheelchair, tire patches for the chair, gloves, and other mobility-related accessories. Remember, being prepared for emergencies isn't just about having kits ready. If you use a wheelchair, discuss and practice appropriate lifting and carrying techniques with your team. Supervision. If you rely on support from a caregiver or a family member, or if you or someone in your family has special needs, such as developmental disabilities, dementia, or a brain injury, you can start by creating a support network that will support you through an emergency. This trusted team should work with you as you develop your plan so they can understand every part in detail. Once you have all of the pieces in place, it's time to work on practicing your plan. Know and rehearse your escape routes and emergency exits, and think about where you might need assistance. Try to remember the details of your plan by memorizing it or using a cue card in large type or braille, and keep a written or braille copy of the full plan for reference. Give copies of the plan to your support network. Transportation. Finally, let's talk about transportation. In an emergency, you'll need to plan transportation for yourself or those around you who cannot drive or who require specialized vehicles to help accommodate equipment and other needs. Try to map out potential evacuation routes and how to access them without a vehicle if possible. You can work with your support network to identify meeting places that are close to your work and home. Give them a copy of your transport plan. Contact your local emergency management office to inquire about plans to support people without vehicle access in the case of an emergency. Having a plan that takes into account your personal needs is essential in preparing for an emergency. What else can you do to plan and prepare for emergencies? The complete AMI Emergency Series is available to watch at ami.ca, on the AMI TV app, and on the AMI YouTube channel.